Good day, Lionel. This is your lesson review of your lesson that you took earlier with me yesterday. Okay, Lionel, so some of the things that we talked about, first and foremost, contact is okay. That's the biggest thing I want you to understand. Now, if we can get contact working every time like that, I have no issue with you going inside. The only reason why I was kind of hesitant to do it before was because you showed me what you can do over the top, and I saw um, what you could do, and you had great contact. And then all of a sudden, once we tried to do inside, it was heavy, and that always scares me when I see a consistent miss like that. But you brought back the swing today. You did some Jim Furyk looping it into the inside, and you were starting to bring that club more to the inside path. Just to kind of put it in perspective of how much you've brought it inside, I'm gonna do this one right here, and the very first one that you ever did for me here. So let's take a look at these two swings here and see how they've changed. So you can see here, it came over the top. Club was definitely on the right side of those lines. Let's take a look on the left here. So now you're bringing it down a little bit more into that slot line. We've definitely moved it a little bit more to over the hands. The funny thing is it can still go more. As you can see here, as it's coming down, making pretty flush contact into the screen. Good shot, good swing. Coming down this way, we're coming across it a little bit, and you can see the difference here in the finish position. That's one thing I'm actually going to keep working on with you, is the finish position, because it actually does have some purpose, and it is something that I'm going to go further into. But what I like to see here is that lots of the leg movement and everything has improved by quite a bit. When you take a look at what you're doing, you're really coming through the ball, really shifting the legs, the right leg towards the left. Now, one thing I will mention here is I want you to see leg movement one more time here, because it can get a little better. Now, I want you to see what Rory does here. When he gets to the top, he pushes off, and you can see how this left knee is going towards the right pretty early there. So we take a look at the top of the backswing, and ours doesn't quite do the same thing. It is shifting to the front foot, but not quite enough to the point that it needs to be. It doesn't actually turn and start shifting back to the front foot until after the swing has already been struck. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at this. Lionel, I want you to keep working at this. Biggest thing you can do for yourself, give yourself a little bit more room. When you take a look here at Mr. Adam Scott, and I'll pull him up here on the right, you'll notice where his eye line is here. It's kind of in between the ball and where our eye line is now. It's actually in a pretty similar position now, and that's where I want us to be. You can bend more from the back if you want, like Adam is here, if you want to get a little bit closer, but don't stand any closer with the body. You're close enough to where you are right there, and that's one thing I wanted to really kind of mention to you, because the closer you stand, the harder it's going to be for your body to get out of the way when you're hitting these shots. You take a look here. It was kind of the same spot here, but you can see that you've moved back a little bit. So that's one thing I want you to know, is that you've moved back a little bit. You've looked in proportion the distance from one line to the club head here, and the other line to the club head is just slightly changed. Okay, so Lionel, keep working at it. Doing what you're doing, you're doing a good job with what you got going on here. I think we can do this now. Contact has come back, so I want you to take this. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working, and like you've said in your email, if you've done hundreds of hours the other way, it may take a lot of time before you start getting very consistent with it, or it might not take much time at all. It's all dependent on how many reps you'll need to do in order to make it work. Okay, so big things, work on the lower body a little bit more, spread yourself out a little bit more, and keep looping that thing to the inside. Okay, Lionel, as always, if you have any questions, you can always reach me at my email. That email again is clavalley@golftown.com. And I thank you again for the lesson, and I hope you have a wonderful day, Lionel.